The following program contains strong language that is not suitable for young children. Viewer discretion is advised. In 2019, Michael X won the Wrestling Rundown Championship, taking the world by storm. But then, the virus attacked. These men promptly escaped from mental insanity by talking about the nerdiest shit on the internet, filmed in the Massachusetts Underground. Today, still wanted by the people of YouTube, they survive as nerds, weebs, and dorks of fortune. If you have an obsession, if no one else can, and if you can submit to them, maybe you can hire Indy Force.
What happens when a man with ADHD
and a man with full-blown autism start a wrestling podcast?
Insanity Works Studios
and J-Hebert Studios
proudly present Wrestling with Idiocy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a rather impromptu episode of Wrestling with Idiocy. Not quite sure why we're doing it this way, but here we are. I'm your co-host, the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher, and I'm here with the other co-host, the Archangel, J-Hebert. Let me just unmute him real quick here. James? James?
Spaghetti.
Ravioli.
What?
Wake the fuck up, you idiot! It's time to predict!
What time is it?
7:07?
Oh shit. Oh, hi guys. Okay. Sorry, long day. Fuck. Okay.
You had a long day? What? 13 miles in 6 hours, you idiot!
I don't know. It's alright. Where are we? Okay. Shit. Oh, wait. We have a... Wait, why are we not on camera? Where's the rest of the guys?
'Cause I couldn't get a hold of them, and they, I guess, said they had something else planned. I'm not sure what, but I guess we'll find out.
Oh, okay.
I just hope they have their predictions in time for All Out.
Yeah, same here. Wait, why is the extra footage why is it in the Wrestling with Idiocy thing? What the hell's going on? The fuck?
I'm very confused. I'm very confused. But you know what?
Okay, fuck it. Predictions. Who cares?
Yeah,
Who cares?
We're here. Say for right now. Let's just say fuck right now and just get this done.
Okay. All right. So,
well, for those who don't know,
I believe
AEW's. For those who don't know, AEW's second All Out event is this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
September 5th of 2020.
Yep, September 5th of 2020. This will pretty much be this will be a month before the 1 year anniversary of getting on TNT. So I'm expecting this to be a very big show.
I agree.
Should we get a criticism? Should we get a criticism out of the way before we actually get to the actual predicting? Because
I know
there's a lot of gimmick matches. Is that just me, or am I noticing? Am I the only one noticing that shit? Or because why? Why is there a tooth and nail match? I understand the Mimosa Mayhem match because it's Jericho and Cassidy. But what's with the tooth and nail match? What's with the Broken Rules match? I'm fine with the 21-man casino battle royal. But yeah, why is it very gimmick match heavy? You know what I mean? It should have just been Mimosa Mayhem and Casino Battle Royal, and that's it. And the weird thing is, I guess Broken Rules, by the way. So I finally figured out what those rules are. We'll get to that match, obviously, when we get to it. But apparently, it's last man standing.
Ooh.
Last man standing, but it's also false count anywhere. So basically, it's a Mexican death match. That's what a broken rules match is, where you can either beat your opponent by pinfall, submission, or knocking them out to the point where they cannot answer the count of 10. That's what a Mexican death match is.
Should be
At least-
interesting.
So that's what it is. I don't know why they're calling it broken rules. I assume that's just what they decided to go with.
Yeah, probably.
I ain't necessarily like against it, but still, we move. So buy-in match, tooth and nail match. What the fuck is this match? Still can't find the rules for this. I don't even know why they're calling it this.
We'll probably find out when we watch the event. Although, just as a heads up regarding that, I'm probably working very early Sunday morning, so I'll watch the event more likely than not Sunday afternoon. Remind me to download the BR Live app on my new Amazon TV, and I'll get that going.
Yes, yes, that'd be great. That'd be great. And then, so who do we got? Who do we got? Big Swole or Britt Baker? I'm thinking Britt Baker because she's just coming off an injury. That's just me.
I can absolutely see that. I'm gonna say Big Swole because she hasn't really had much done with her outside of this, at least as far as I know. And her really most impactful thing this year has been almost taking a swing at somebody during Double or Nothing.
That was fucking hilarious. Who was that again? I don't even remember now. Was it Archer? Was it Archer?
It might have been Lance Archer. I'm not 100%. I'd have to go back and watch Double or Nothing again.
Dude, if you are ever in a situation where you may get your ass kicked, the person you want by your side, I don't care if it's male or female, is Big Swole. It's Big Swole 100%. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Okay.
Swole don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, Swole clearly don't give a fuck. She made that very clear. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. I assume at this point, whoever wins this match is going to be the number one ranked tag team after the FTR Omega and Page match. To me, just because of who I think is going to win the ladder match that I just mentioned, I got to go with the Young Bucks here. I got to, because you know they're going to build up Young Bucks FTR, and that's coming, and we might as well just get that prediction out of the way and skip ahead. I think it's safe to say Omega and Hangman lose the tag team titles to FTR.
I can actually agree with both picks. Jurassic Express will probably be used for the 6-man tag later on down the line, and they'd probably be more effective in that scene anyway.
Personally, I think that Luchasaurus would be good, and this is just me, because personally I think these two could have fucking great big hoss fights together. Even though it's an unofficial championship, I could see him taking the FTW championship off of Brian Cage.
Maybe with the right build, but definitely not so soon.
No, I'm saying like later on. I'm not saying like right now, but like
Put
it this way, if they wanted to do it for the next full year coming up this year, I wouldn't complain. Like in the slightest, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. Now
make that buy-in match, entice people to buy the pay-per-view, make it a false count anywhere match, make the fucking big guys brawl over the arena to really get the crowd going, really get the adrenaline pumped up at home.
You are right about one thing though. Regardless of when they do it, it's going to be a hell of a match if it happens.
I agree. But yeah, I'm going with Young Bucks. It's kind of a shame because you realize if you go back to the tag team title tournament from when was it? I don't even remember the week they started doing the tag team tournament for the tag titles. But you just knew because of the crowd reaction they were getting. You knew Jurassic Express was winning that whole thing, and then Luchasaurus got injured. That was fucking gut-wrenching, dude. That halted all their momentum that they fucking built up naturally, dude. It was fucking Curse the wrestling gods! How dare you fucking... You already got rid of all the rest of the fucking dinosaurs. What you got against Luchasaurus, huh? What you got against my boy?
The wrestling gods giveth, and the wrestling gods taketh away.
Wrestling gods sucketh. How about that? All right. Sorry. All right. So wait, say that again.
Looking at you, Bradshaw.
Oh Jesus! He's not a god. He's a fucking asshole.
That's a callback and a half, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I haven't heard that in a while. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara broken rules match. Apparently, if Hardy loses, he leaves AEW. I thought, shit, is Sammy gonna win? I thought about it realistically. Now Hardy's fucking winning this. There's no way he's fucking leaving this fucking soon. He literally just signed, and they're already talking about plans they have in the fucking future. There's no way he's leaving.
Yeah,
So.
no.
Matt Hardy's winning. I think that's a unanimous pick between you and I.
Yeah.
Dark Order versus Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares of QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. So this storyline.
Momentum.
Wait, say that again.
The Dark Order needs the momentum. They've been kind of languishing in terms of what's going on outside of.
Well, here's the thing. They were languishing until the fucking Cody beatdown. That fucking Dark Order beatdown where fucking... I don't know if you've seen Dynamite, because I know you're working busy with work, but I'll spoil it for you anyway, and you still should watch the segment because it's fucking amazing.
It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
So Cody has been defending the TNT title in these grueling matches week after week after week after week, like he said he was going to do, and he the opponent he faces next happens to be the leader of the Dark Order, Brody Lee. Cody Rhodes gets a flurry of punches and then one big boot, and he's selling like he's damn near incapacitated. And then Brody Lee just obliterates him, Brock Lesnar style. Hits him with the discus lariat after series of fucking moves in the ring, outside of the ring, completely destroying him in pretty much a squash match. Won the TNT title. Then the Dark Order came to celebrate. Then the Nightmare family came out to, the EMTs then put a face mask on, pretending like Cody Rhodes needs like oxygen and shit. Which, where does that sound familiar, Mr.
Rey Mysterio?
No, where does the freaking Shawn and Azam.
Oh yeah.
Although they could actually do that scene because, no bullshit game limitations. Anyway, so then Cody, when he gives the thumbs up, Brody does not like that. So he tips the freaking bed over. Meanwhile, Preston Vance and a couple other Dark Order members fucking brutalize QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. Then Brandy comes in to pretty much protect her husband from any further damage. And then Anna Jay, who's the newest member of the Dark Order, chokes out Brandy Rhodes with the Kirifuda clutch. And it stands with the entirety of the Dark Order standing tall. If you were to actually see this segment, this is exactly the fucking kick in the ass the Dark Order needed. And now, and if they were to have Dark Order lose to Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares, that'd be the biggest fucking blunder other than Retribution this year.
Exactly.
They cannot do that.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying Dark Order needs the momentum.
Yeah, they need to keep the momentum. So they haven't even they don't even need to gain momentum because they already have that fucking momentum. They're a red hot act now. They need to keep that momentum going. Is basically the point I'm trying to make there. All right. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, Casino Battle Royal. We're just gonna read this as is because even though they may have announced all the participants by now, Mike and, well, shouldn't spoil. I can't be asked, so whatever. I'm just gonna read it. Participants that could be in this or that have not been announced yet: Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Marco Stunt, Brandon Cutler, Austin Gunn, Jack Evans, Kip Sabian, Angelico, Michael Nakazawa, Pac, and Jeff Cobb. Although he's more unlikely not to be in the Battle Royal. So there you go with that. The people that have been announced, and remember, it's a 21-man casino Battle Royal. So it's like, with 21 cards and shit, you draw a card, and that's, you guys know the rules by now if you watch the AEW.
It's all blackjack reference.
Yeah. Participants announced are Billy Gunn, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, Jake Hager, Chuck Taylor, Trent Santana, Ortiz, Serpentico, Shawn Spears, and Darby Allin. Again, I could be way off on that. That's just the people that I saw on that. What I will say was a dog shit of a segment to hype up the Battle Royal. Because, okay, how many times have you and I seen, oh, Royal Rumble's coming up, everyone must fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Survivor Series is coming up, everyone must fight. AEW's having a casino Battle Royal coming up for All Out, everyone must fight. I'm sorry, I don't like it. Please don't do that again. Just do a traditional way. Do it like the old school way, like why they're gonna win the Battle Royal. Do a pre-tape interview or something, please. Because like trying to keep track of who the fuck was in that ring and who actually could be in the Battle Royal was a pain in the ass. And I still could be way off, but I don't know. Now, I know that's... now, if you're counting at home, I know that's more than 21 people that I just listed off. But if you were to listen closer, I said participants that could be in the Royal Rumble that haven't been announced yet. That doesn't mean all the people that I said that haven't been announced yet are all automatically going to be in a 21-man Battle Royal, because if you count, that's like 27, 28, maybe 30, which, it's way over the top. That being said, who do we got? I don't know. I genuinely don't know who could win this Royal Rumble. Or Royal Rumble. Battle Royal, let me call it by the proper name.
Nor do I. Although I am going to go out on a limb and say Pac is one of the people that's going to be announced.
Oh yeah. Maybe we probably should have done... we probably could have done the whole... Oh, hey, fucking... Who, wild card pick. If you get this pick right and he shows up at a Battle Royal, you get 2 points. But yeah, fuck that nonsense. Don't have time for that shit. So we're just gonna pick on a winner. Personally, I'm gonna go with Shawn Spears. I think this is the moment for him. Like, if you've been watching Dark, and I haven't been watching Dark, but I've been keeping up with it. You know that old school thing where they have like a weapon inside a black glove?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tully Blanchard handed that down to him, and yeah, I think that's how he's gonna win. And it's no DQ, so he could use the glove however the fuck he wants.
I'm gonna say Darby Allin's gonna win this.
That's fair. Those are the two people I see winning it the most, because Brian Cage you've already done.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other one I realistically could see is Eddie Kingston, and even then, So I'm just gonna stick with Shawn Spears. So there you go. Okay, so that's done. Okay, AEW Women's Championship on the line. Hikaru Shida, the champion, versus NWA Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa, which is, by the way, is a huge fucking pickup for them, because That means they just got back their working relationship with NWA, which could lead to future freaking partnerships down the line with them, like I predicted, by the way, like months ago. And now it's actually starting to come to fruition. I think the pandemic definitely sped things up a little bit, but nevertheless, here we are. I'm going to say Hikaru Shida retains. She just won the belt at Double or Nothing.
I'm going to agree because Thunder Rosa is apparently still the NWA Women's World Champion. Working relationship or not, you don't want to have too many instances of one person holding the belt in two different promotions at the same time. Because then it just gets watered and muddied down and it gets hard to keep track of shit.
I would have said something different if they built this up as like, winner take all. Then I would say Thunder Rosa should fucking win this because Thunder Rosa out of the two, I think this is going to be the fucking best AEW women's match they ever done because Thunder Rosa is fucking amazing. We know how good Hikaru Shida is, and it's like it's the Latina lucha libre mixed with MMA influence with added in with the Japanese strong style influence. We're going to get a fucking great match out of this. I'm telling you. Do not sleep on this match. This is going to be a sleeper of the fucking night, I'm telling you.
We're going to get a fight is what we're going to get.
Yeah, this is going to be the fucking sleeper. This is going to be the sleeper of the whole picture.
We've got another out and out fight on the way that we'll get to later, but
for right now, there might be infighting. Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, versus now known as Fear the Revelation, FTR, with Tully Blanchard at ringside. So, obviously, FTR is winning. We already agreed with that. We already said that.
Yep.
Now, Kenny Omega and Adam Page, one of them is turning heel. Who do we think? This isn't going to count towards the predictions, but who do we think is going to turn heel here?
Either one would make a lot of sense. I feel like Page could probably pull it off better, but either one could work.
You know what? I was thinking that, and I've been saying like maybe he would be the best fit for FTR for a long time, but I don't know, man. You would have to watch Dynamite week to week. It's actually fucking amazing when you watch it week to week because it's such a great storytelling.
Well, here's the thing about that. Adam Page was kicked out of the Elite. Kenny Omega, not so much.
Well, here's the thing, though. I do see that point. However, Adam Page came out this week on Dynamite. There must have been a makeup lady or something where they made his eyes look so fucking red to the point where it looked like he was in absolute distraught and was crying all night about, being kicked out of the fucking Elite, which is like, that's a fucking brilliant WWE would never think about doing shit like that.
No.
They're a multi-million-dollar fucking company. Here's a fucking, fledgling AEW putting makeup around Adam Page's eyes to make it look like he's so fucking distraught over being kicked out of the Elite. Brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. I love how they're making this so unpredictable where you can honestly see either Kenny Omega or Adam Page turning heel and going their own way. Because, like, Kenny, I've been seeing a lot more heel tendencies in Kenny than I have with Adam Page. Adam Page has been so fucking over since he's added the edge of being the fucking drunk cowboy alcoholic. That thing has been a license to print money. He is the perfect sympathetic babyface now. I don't think you can turn that heel.
Honestly, James, I feel like that's why he should turn heel.
I don't know. I see. Here's the thing. I think you would do, and it took me a minute to realize this, but Adam Page has had fucking bangers as baby faces. I feel like if you turn him into a heel, it wouldn't have that same luster because one, people really wanted to cheer him, and two, people actually more than likely are going to side with him in this instance anyway. And you look at Kenny Omega when he was in New Japan as the cleaner.
Oh, you think he might be bringing that back?
Dude, that's what I'm thinking. Dude, if Kenny Omega fucking brought back the cleaner, he'd be the top heel in AEW in a fucking instant. Guaranteed.
No question.
Guaranteed. And we know, and here's the thing, we know Kenny Omega could do it because the reason he's had those matches with Okada was because he works best as a fucking heel. Doesn't mean he can't do a babyface fucking run. We've seen his last match with Okada. He proved that. But he's so much better as a fucking heel. There was a reason why after AJ Styles left, he took over the fucking Bullet Club. You know what I mean? Because he was believable. He was pompous. He was arrogant. He knew he was that damn good. And he knew he could fucking bring the best out of anybody. And he knew no matter how much they fucking threw at him, in kayfabe, he was going to come out and stand tall in the end. He's becoming more and more unlikable by design, while Adam Page is becoming more sympathetic. And while he does have heelish tendencies, like costing his best friends, the Young Bucks, who knows? And you know what? Here's another fucking thing. I think the Young Bucks are better as fucking heels. They've started showing heel tendencies this week on Dynamite when they just pretty much blew off a victory, hand raise with, Jurassic Express, which has been very uncharacteristic of the Young Bucks as of late because they've been, all about respect and being, la-di-da number one. I see all of them dumping Adam Hangman Page. And then in a fucking shocking ass twist, FTR are the fucking baby faces. Adam Page is the fucking baby faces. And when he comes back and fucking beats down Brody Lee and gets the fucking championship that he fucking took from him, or at least attempt to, then you bring Cody into the fucking mix. That completely fucking flips the shit on its head.
Well, honestly, regardless of who tunes heel, I won't be mad because it means we're going to get a hell of a program out of it.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I think you would get an even better program if it's the cleaner Kenny Omega versus the Hangman Adam Page, the babyface Hangman Adam Page. I think that has a license to fucking print money just thinking about that. Honest to God. All right. We talked enough about that. Okay, so Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem. Oh boy. So basically the way you win this match is pinfall, submission, or dumping your opponent into however many tons of fucking mimosa, which is just orange juice and a little bit of the bubbly mixed together. So I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I got to give the win to Cassidy here. This is the rubber win for him. There's no way they're not going to do this. The only problem is, if you do that, where the hell do the Inner Circle go? Because if you have... That's the problem we run into. Because if you are trying to build Orange Cassidy as the top star, because right now he's selling the best... He is the best-selling T-shirt in AEW right now. Like, he's the top fucking merchandise seller. So you got to give him this win. Just off that alone. Because the fans are fucking loving this guy. And you built up all this momentum. But then where do you go with the Inner Circle? At this point, I think the Inner Circle pretty much ran its course, which sucks because that means we ain't getting blood and guts with Inner Circle involved. Fuck, I was really looking fucking forward to that. I'm so mad we didn't get it.
You can still do the Dark Order.
You could do the Dark Order, yeah. I feel like with the star power that you were gonna get in that, it wouldn't. That would have been the perfect first one. So I'm not entirely sure. And who knows? Maybe what I say comes true, and they don't even do the Dark Order, because the Dark Order pretty much turned everybody against each other anyway and ran roughshod. It might be FTR and Cody and Paige versus Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and maybe they fucking bring in Kota Ibushi, and they fucking do that fucking as blood and guts. Who the fuck knows what they're gonna do at this point? Because you can't put in you literally milked all you could out of the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Jericho's got to lose. But if he wins, then you can keep Inner Circle around. That's kind of the dilemma you're in right now. This is the one time where AEW kind of booked themselves into a corner, and I don't think it was, by accident. This is one of those things where the pandemic just fucked up everything, and there's not much you could do about it. But Cassidy's got to win this. It's just a matter of Orange Cassidy sells more business. Which is nuts. I never thought I'd say that about Cassidy. Not to say that Jericho isn't the bigger fucking star, because he is, but who's selling more t-shirts right now? Who's bringing in the fucking ratings right now? It's Orange Cassidy. Anytime he's fucking on there, he's one of the highest rated fucking segments on AEW. So, to me, that screams a win for Cassidy. There's no way you can build him up as well as you have built him up, especially with that fucking, the debate, quote unquote, and not have him win. He's got to win this rubber match. Because again, what else can you really do with the Inner Circle? It lasted, it went for a good while, it worked for a while, but Santana and Ortiz would be best fitted with fucking Eddie Kingston. And you could do a trio deal out of that fucking thing with Proud and Powerful. Sammy Guevara is a fucking star in the...
Maybe that's how you bring in the 6-man tag belts? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Sammy Guevara, in his own right, is a fucking star in the making as a fucking heel. Fucking JR legitimately said this. He was not bullshitting. Reminded him of a young Eddie Guerrero, which I absolutely could see the fucking comparisons, because holy shit is he phenomenal on the mic. He's got one of the best characters in AEW right now. And it really does remind me of watching a young Eddie Guerrero really morph into this fucking charisma machine. Because Guevara was good on the mic, but ever since he's been with Jericho, holy shit, has he fucking turned it up a notch. Holy shit. Dude, it's eerily, if you actually compare Eddie Guerrero's Nitro run when he turned heel to Sammy Guevara's run in the Inner Circle, it's fucking eerily similar. It's scary how similar it is. I've been watching
And this is without mentioning Sammy's little acting moment with Matt Hardy back at Double or Nothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, absolutely. Dude, well, that's the thing, is even that, it's he still came off looking fucking strong. And they turned that into a fucking program. They got some great heat going into this fucking match. This feud really stretches back all the way to when, Sammy Guevara got hit by the fucking golf cart by Matt Hardy and Omega. So this is how far that goes back to. But yeah, it's and then you got Jake Hagar. Jake Hagar does Jake Hagar things. I don't know what you do with him, but I'm sure he'll. I don't know. Maybe he turns on the Inner Circle, and that's what disillusions the group. to join his older brother Orange Cassidy because they fucking look alike. Which, by the way, if you guys didn't realize, that's why J-Hebert and Orange Cassidy were in a segment together on Dynamite. Now you know, because it was a meme. It's been a meme for a while that Orange Cassidy just looks like a smaller version of J-Hebert. So there you go. Now you know the meme. All right, AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley, MJF. I mean, this is unanimous at this fucking point. It's got to be MJF, isn't it?
Has to be MJF.
It's MJF, 100%.
Because heel bullshit for weeks, my dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering the fact that he pretty much just took the approach of a scumbag politician and has an entire cabinet by his side now. I guarantee you a bunch of those fucking people are going to get involved and try to cost Jon Moxley somehow.
And by the way, scumbag politician with a cabinet? Where have we heard that before, John?
No, it's not the same. I'll tell you why it's not the same. Because your group is full of killers. Your group's full of killers. I don't know what the fuck that cabinet was, but the only scary person in that was Wardlow, other than MJF when he's mad, which he proved this week on TV. So yeah, that was pretty much unanimous. We don't need to keep going on there. Now, you all are probably wondering what this is, and I'm still wondering why this is even the setup of Wrestling with Idiocy, but in case you don't know what Wrestling with Idiocy is, Casey, you want to tell them what Wrestling with Idiocy is? Since it's been this format?
It's pretty self-explanatory. We're a couple of idiots who sit down and shoot the shit about wrestling.
Yeah. Whatever topic comes to mind, too.
Should we give them a little preview? Should we give them a little preview of our next one before we head off?
Yeah. Obviously, I'll make this quick. So next ones that are coming up in recent time are going to be what's the best way to explain this? We're going to do a tier list. We're going to do a tier list for the best championship belts in the history of professional wrestling, mainly looking at basically all the companies that were important. So WWE, WCW, ECW, NWA, Impact Wrestling. I think we're just going to include all of them, honestly. I think we're just going to include all of them. So basically the big companies that everybody knows of that has like a world or at least a national name value is going to be in the tier list. So New Japan is going to be in it. AEW obviously is going to be in it. WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE, freaking... And it's going to be from like all different generations.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a cutoff point. Obviously, I think obviously the cutoff point is Winged Eagle because it's the fucking Winged Eagle, And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you should break that number one." You just have to tune in and see. You'll just have to tune in and see. Next one after that will be pay-per-view stage setups. That will also be a tier list ranking. So be on the lookout for that as well. That is still work in progress because I'm not even sure what we're going to do for arenas. I think we're just going to pick out a bunch at random that we really like and see where we'd rank them. See where it goes. Maybe we'll even pick some shitty ones. Maybe we'll pick in some ones that are cult favorites. Maybe we'll pick ones that
are best left forgotten.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pick ones that were from an absolutely dog shit pay-per-view but had an amazing set. For example, Capital Punishment actually had a really good fucking set and the pay-per-view was just trash. It was the sad thing. You never know. It's going to be a random tier list, so stay tuned for that. And then what was the next thing, Case? Because that was your idea, right?
It was. Well, we've for those of you who don't already know, James has been a wrestling fan for, 22 years?
Yeah, 22. Probably going on that. Probably longer than that at this point now.
And I've been a wrestling fan for about 25 years. So with almost 50 years of combined wrestling fandom between us, some people are probably sitting out there wondering, how the fuck did that get started? Well, that's what we're going to be covering on episode 4.
They are? You sure? People give a shit about us? What?
That's a big if. That's a big assumption, I know. But let's just go with it, because I'd rather pretend that people do care about us than not.
Okay.
So, but yes, that's what we're going to be covering on episode 4 of Wrestling with Idiocy, is how we got started in our wrestling fandom. We'll cover
going over every company, obviously, that we
cover.
started watching.
Specifically, we'll be covering the sensational 7 of wrestling promotions: WWE, WCW, ECW, Ring of Honor, TNA/Impact, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I swear we're missing one, aren't we? Are we not missing? Are we? I guess we didn't really get into Lucha Libre, huh?
Not really, no.
Yeah, no, we tried.
We didn't.
You know what I realized? How bad is it that in WCW did Lucha Libre better than fucking AAA did? Because holy shit, is it a botch fest over there?
Yeah.
Holy shit, AAA needs to get their fucking shit together. But yeah, that's it for this impromptu edition of Wrestling with Idiocy. I don't know why we're doing it this way, but fuck it. Casey, where can I find you at right now?
Besides in my car hanging myself?
Well, I mean, besides that, because that wouldn't be good.
That would not be very good. Aside from that, you can find me on Twitter at CTroop19. I'm also Luke Lynch on YouTube, so subscribe to me there. You can also follow me on Twitch.
Wait, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Hell,
No, what is actually going on?
Seriously,
what the
as
fuck?
Hello? Can you not do the...
What the hell is going on with my computer?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very special occasion, purely for your entertainment tonight. We are your hosts, Lionheart, Mike Nikos, and I'm here with
The Executioner, Michael X.
and welcome to
Open Mic Night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of Open Mic Night. We are your hosts, Lionheart, Mike Nikos, with...
And I'm the Executioner, Michael X. So this is a little impromptu, I guess you could say. What do we have? Let's see, what's our topic this week? Usually I have that shit ready to go prior to getting all set up and ready. So give me just a few moments to pull it up. Oh, cool. So we're talking about the next pay-per-view for AEW.
Excellent. So, the buy-in. It's actually rare. Do they usually post buy-ins like twice every pay-per-view, or like every pay-per-view is a buy-in?
I think they do it every pay-per-view from what I remember.
I see. I mean, it's good. Because usually I always get that mixed up with our show, because we always do like buy-ins for like every twice
Every house show.
year.
Every house show we do. Well, the house show really is kind of like the buy-in, I guess you'd call it. But we don't usually do the buy-in thing all the time. We usually like to save it for like what makes the most sense for it to appear. But hey, AEW can do whatever the hell they want at this point, so who cares?
Sure. And before anyone asks, yes, I will be defending the Indy Force Championship for this. And win or lose, winner take all. So let's start with the buy-in match.
Does that mean
It is
somebody gets the goofy ass crown as well?
Hell no.
You want to
The
keep
crown
that one
is
to
mine.
you? Uh-huh.
I mean, if you want, I can also bet up. All right, you know what? Let's make it interesting. Not only will I bet the championship belt, I'll also bet the crown. Anyone else can be Indy Force King.
You're going to put up both of them at the same time?
Yeah, why not? Let's make this interesting.
Okay, so do I put up my mask then? Do we make it like an even trade? Even though, let's be honest, nobody else has the right to wear that except for this one right here.
You know what? That's too important for you to lose. I suggest you.
That really is. If I lose that, it's game the fuck over. You know how hard that thing was to get in the first place? I had to go through like at least 6 different channels to get the thing made of the first, because I had to go through like several websites to just get the thing fucking made.
Yeah, true. So I think it's a good idea for you to hold on to that mask, for yourself only.
By the way, you know how many people have asked? It's like, is that real? Do you really have a Michael X mask? It's like, of course I do. Why the fuck wouldn't I? That's my character. I love that character. He's the first one I ever made as a CAW.
And that's good. That's good to have something to treasure for.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a really good memento for you to keep.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get a mannequin head so I can place it on there instead of doing what I usually do, which is place it in my closet and try to find a spot for it so it doesn't get all messed up. But shit happens. I mean, the stitching on that, it's almost like 4 years old now.
Oh, true.
So it's old.
Or if you want, you could do something crazy and create like a time capsule and just throw that shit in there, and someone from like the year 3020 will look into it and say, "What the fuck is this shit?"
The fuck is a Michael X, and how come the mask is dope?
I don't know, but I want to wear it. But if I do, I'll imagine that I'm gonna turn into some ungodly, horrific beast.
No, I have a plan with that, actually. It's a little goofy. I know that we're supposed to be talking about the pay-per-view, but fuck it. I'm going to pass that down the line.
Oh, that's good.
The whole idea of it. My personal trinket to pass down.
Something for the future generation. That's a good idea.
Just so that way, like, if I have, like, a kid, they go, what the fuck is this? And please explain it without being a dork. So you know about the alter ego now. Sorry, what? Yes, the alter ego.
They look at you and you're like, "You're Batman?" No.
Yes. How did you know? How did you know that I was a fictional character? Anyway, so why don't we start with the buy-in here?
Sure.
Get into this shit.
The buy-in is a tooth and nail match. The competitors are Big Swole versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
I'm going to give it to the heel. I think it makes the most sense to give it to the heel, especially if it's a tooth versus nail match type, which I'm not sure what that entails specifically, but it makes the most sense to have Britt Baker win it because it has literally the word tooth in the fucking title. Having her lose, that kind of makes it not as important as it should, if you know where I'm coming from.
True. Yeah, I'm also gonna have to agree with your pick, which is Dr. Britt Baker, because honestly, Big Swole, yes, she's been on like a roll lately, but it's been a while since we've seen Britt Baker in action. So, having her get a one-up on Big Swole would actually help boost her, I want to say, arc as a heel, which at this point, yeah, it's kind of annoying, but for having done nothing much for this company, yeah, I think it would seem to be appropriate.
Yeah, so far is the important bit there, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
So
not everybody is going to be, clamored for as soon as they appear. So sometimes you need the undercard talent, no matter what.
Oh, true.
I know somebody's going to sit there and say, "Did you just call her the undercard?" It's like, hear me out. I'm not saying that she's a bad athlete. Let's let that be known. I'm saying specifically that you need people to fill the roles of being the undercard talent sometimes. Even if, let's be honest, everybody goes, "Oh, I'm the greatest wrestler of all time." It's like, shut the fuck up. No, you're not.
Yeah.
The greatest wrestler of all time.
Dude.
Dude, the greatest wrestler of all time, which I know somebody's going to sit there and fight me on that, is Jerry the King Lawler. He's the greatest wrestler of all time. He has the most title wins in history. He's the longest reigning heel ever. And he's the only wrestler ever to go, yeah, I called some of the greatest matches of all time as well.
I mean,
But
he isn't called the king for nothing, you know?
exactly. So let's get into the next bit here. So you have Britt Baker, and so do I.
Yep.
Next we have Jurassic Express versus the Bucks. I'm gonna probably give it to the Bucks. They're on a roll recently, from what I remember.
You know, you know me. I would never break my oath. I'm gonna.
I
stick with the
know.
dinosaur. I mean,
But I'm just putting it in perspective of if I have to choose a team to go against the Bucks, I wouldn't. The only way you could make it better is if it was fucking Lucha, the Lucha Brothers as well, a part of that.
oh yeah, true. You know, Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade would have been a good feud, but having Eddie Kingston bring them together, you know, being as their hype man, is actually ingenious. I never thought of it that way. But aside from that, yeah, I don't know. For my pick would be for the Jurassic Express. It's just it's the dinosaur. Come on, you can't go wrong.
I know. Honestly, I would never go against it, but it's the Bucks, and they are one of the greatest tag teams out there right now. With Jurassic, I have to say it, even though somebody's going to say that's blasphemy, how dare you? They're not incredible as a team.
I guess you can make the exception with Jungle Boy. I mean, Jungle Boy he's okay, but he's not, you know, the greatest.
No, Luchasaurus.
Granted, he being the son of Luke Perry, I understand, very talented guy, but he's not, you know, really that much of a team player. I mean, mainly he's just carried on the shoulders of Luchasaurus, who's like the powerhouse of the team. And I don't know, this is actually kind of difficult now because if it's just going to be Luchasaurus cleaning house, that'd actually be bad for Jurassic Express. Kind of seem early as like, oh, well, Luchasaurus is going to, you know, sweep up the rug with the Young Bucks. Why is he still hanging out with these guys?
But to be fair, the only reason why I'm picking the Bucks specifically in this instance is tag team psychology. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are going to give them shit and say they don't have tag team psychology. When it comes to a pay-per-view match, yes, they do. When it comes to just a regular house show, who gives a shit? They try to make everything entertaining, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Let's get on with the next card in the match. Which would it be? Because I know this seems out of order from the list I got here.
You know what? Honestly, we might as well just go into the Hardy versus Sammy. Because even if it's out of order, it can be placed in such a way where James can follow the outline that he has set up to save time.
So, yeah.
I have to give it to Hardy because it makes the most sense now. Because that way him and Sammy are even, and it would just kind of keep the playing field going.
Oh, obviously true. I mean, Hardy, he's got so much to lose in this opportunity here because apparently if he loses, then he leaves AEW, and that would be too soon for him. I don't know if that's actually
already
true,
showed up.
But yeah, I mean, like as you said, I mean, Hardy just showed up to AEW. It'd be a huge loss if he were to leave right now.
Especially since his contract is like literally just started. What will be the point of him leaving already?
Yeah. I really like the feud that they've got going on between him and him. Like, I didn't expect like a chair botch would actually work in a way. But hey, there have been other botches that ended up being good feuds for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the important bit with wrestling is that you can make a botch into something important.
Mm-hmm.
If need be. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Hardy for the simple principle that him leaving this early doesn't make any sense strategically as a company, unless it's one of those he has asked for this leave in order to do other things. But
true.
Yeah, I feel like doing that would just be kind of silly.
Yeah, honestly. Before we go any further, I have to ask: did you watch Thursday's episode of AEW?
Yes. Yeah, I actually have been all getting at least some format of caught up before the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay, good.
Like, if I can't watch the episode, then what I'll do is I'll try to find an online review and just try to maintain something. But I have the episodes recorded anyway on my DVR at home.
Oh, that's
Just
good.
in case.
Yeah.
Just so that way they get the view.
All right, just making sure like we're all on the same page here.
Yep.
All right, and the next match we'll be looking at the Dark Order versus Matt Cardona. For those who don't know, he was Zack Ryder from WWE, teaming up with Scorpio Sky and the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall.
Um, I'm gonna have
Honestly,
to probably give it to. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to give it to the Dark Order because I feel like they need the win at this point. It make the most sense.
I will counter that by say Matt Cardona with Scorpio Sky and the Natural Nightmares because we haven't seen a whole lot of Matt Cardona lately. I mean, I think he's been in one match, but I like to see more of what he can do. And I also want to give Scorpio Sky a chance because I feel like he's an underdog that is slowly climbing up the ranks, and I appreciate what he's doing.
You know what? You're right. But I want to go with the Dark Order for the fact that I feel like this night in particular is going to be a heel succession in some formative way.
Yeah, I understand. And plus, the Dark Order actually need a win anyway. I mean, they can't rely anything on Brody Lee.
Even though he's good.
Oh, he's definitely good. But I feel like they need something to do. I mean, yeah, you can have a leader that is good and can win, but you can't have a team that always just loses. So that's just kind of difficult here. But anyway, I still pick with my choice with Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares because I feel like
honestly, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one now that I'm thinking about it, because okay, here's what I think might happen. The Dark Order has the ability to do heel bullshit to win, but you have at least two well-known veterans on one side, unlike the other. It would not make any sense to have at least the new guy, a part of the new group, to try to take out the Dark Order to lose this early for no fucking reason.
Yeah, true. But we will see. So you are still going to be choosing the Dark Order, or are you going to do a little switcheroo?
No, I'm probably going to go with the switcheroo on this one.
Okay. So
now that I have the chance to like actually think about it a little bit more, yeah, I think it would make the most sense because you're absolutely right.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're both choosing the opposite team of Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and Natural Nightmares. The fifth match. Ooh, this is actually a big one. I think this is what James has wrote. Participants that could be in that have not been announced yet. Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Joe Janela, Sonny Kiss, Marco Stunt, Brandon Cutler, Austin Gunn, Jack Evans, Kip Sabian, Angelico, Michael Nakazawa, Pac, and Jeff Cobb, although he's more unlikely not going to be in the Battle Royale. Oh, right. Is there going to be a Battle Royale?
I'm not sure about that. I could ask more than anything else, but I don't think there will be, because what would be the point of doing another Battle Royale after all this time?
True. But here are the participants that are announced for the 21-man Casino Battle Royale for the opportunity for the AEW Championship. Billy Gunn, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, Jake Hager, Chuck Taylor, Trent, Santana, Ortiz, Serpentago, Sean Spears, and Darby Allin. This may be difficult to choose because I know a couple of them that really need a spot for the AEW Championship. And I think I know one.
I'm going to have to give it to Darby. That match just writes itself for how good it can be booked. Plus, he already put Cody up against the ropes like months back, so why the fuck wouldn't you do it? That just prints money.
True, but he's already had a match with Jon Moxley. But I would like to see a rematch, though.
I think that might be a little bit early. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's a little early to
Yeah,
do.
I was also thinking of that too. In fact, he was actually my second choice.
I wouldn't do
Probably because-
Pac. I wouldn't do Michael Nakazawa. I wouldn't do Austin Gunn. I wouldn't do Brandon Cutler because it doesn't make any sense. Marco would not deserve the opportunity. It's either Kaz, Christopher Daniels. I don't see Jeff Cobb.
Honestly, here's my pick for the AEW Championship opportunity. Lance Archer. Like, imagine the booking between Lance Archer and Jon Moxley if Moxley were to retain. That would be a slaughter fest right there.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Cage. Yeah, maybe he would be my number 2. I guess.
But would you do Brian Cage this early? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and plus Moxley already knows his weakness, so this that actually wouldn't be a really good idea. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to stick with my first choice, which would be Lance Archer, because God knows he needs a title opportunity at this point. And I'm guessing you're going to choose the same one?
Yeah, I'm honestly going to have to choose the same one at this point, even though I don't want to. It makes the most sense. You have a very compelling argument.
Okay, then. So Lance Archer to win the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. If James asks us who will be like our number 2 pick, we can just give him like just in case if
my number 2 pick is going to be Christopher Daniels. My number 3 is going to be Kazarian for the fact that Kaz or Daniels, either or, are the perfect choice to go up against Moxley for the fact that they have years of history in TNA Impact and all these other companies, proving that they can go the distance.
Oh, true. For me,
they can go the fucking distance.
Oh, true. For me, for my number 2, Jake Hager, and number 3, I'm gonna have to agree with you on Kaz. I feel like that would be a really good fight between those two. But just in case if he is going to be in the 21 Battle Royale, if not, then I'll change it to Darby.
Fair.
And yeah, hopefully James will get into that, and if he makes that list. But yeah, those are our choices for the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. 6th match is the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida, who's the current AEW champion, versus the NWA Women's World Champion, Thunder Rosa. I don't know if Thunder Rosa is going to be staying in AEW for long, because, again, she is the NWA Championship, so I don't know if maybe she's there on like a joint thing where she's working for both AEW and NWA. And honestly, a double champion for 2 different companies would actually better the character that way. If a brand split, that is. But
true, but if it's a versus thing, for respect, honestly, because of the history that Cody has with NWA, because that's where his father comes from. I see Thunder Rosa walking away maybe with the World Heavyweight, with the Women's Championship. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm making a blind guess in a fucking dark tunnel right now.
Sure. I'm going to play it safe and say Hikaru Shida will retain the championship. I know probably Thunder Rosa will probably win, but just to play it safe, just to make sure that hopefully.
No, it's a fair choice. I'm just putting it in from the perspective of I mean, you can never get a more famous name out of the NWA than fucking Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, true.
So I think Thunder just for the respect value. So that way they can start doing more stuff with NWA and hopefully this is just my opinion. Start working out more contracts to start doing joint shows. So that way both of these companies could start making some serious fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now with World Wrestling Entertainment the way that it is, it's time to strike while the iron is at its hottest.
True. All right. Moving on is going to be the AEW Tag Team Championship. Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus FTR with Tully Blanchard. I am definitely choosing FTR for this one. Now, the fact that Adam Page has been kicked off of the Elites and knowing that he's probably going to turn heel and probably join sides with FTR if they win the championships, I feel like this would be a good opportunity for Kenny Omega and Adam Page to just split for good.
Agreed. Let's see.
I mean, honestly, that arguments, the Young Bucks they had with Adam Page at the end, it just foreshadows. The story writes it for itself. Where the glass shattering close up on Adam Page's face, it works.
I'm gonna say FTR because you can easily turn Page heel.
Oh, true.
Honestly, you turning him heel and turning Omega face for a while, and then having Omega turn heel. I think Omega heel is fantastic. I think it's some of the best work he's ever done is when he's heel.
Oh, true. And he's actually starting to become his heel, like slowly, little by little, which is actually fascinating. At first, it was weird just watching him like beat his opponent senseless after he wins the match, but now it's actually starting to be a pretty good turn.
I think they're gonna turn him heel, have the Bucks try to do their thing with Hangman for a little while. And honestly, FTR having God, who are the two members in FTR? I don't remember off the top of my head, and I hate it. I know Shawn Spears is one of them.
Yeah, Shawn Spears.
Who's the other one?
You know what? I can look that up right now.
Yeah, if you don't mind, because my fucking mind is... It's been a long fucking day today. I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning because I went, and I'm up.
Oh, yeah, true.
As soon as that head comes off the pillow, it's game over. It's game over.
So the two members are Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood.
And
Scott Dawson, wow.
Well, because if Tully's managing that shit, then it obviously makes the most sense to try to turn Omega heel and keep Hangman face for several important reasons.
You know what would actually be a good idea, now thinking about it, if FTR were to win, and having Tully Blanchard's mindset behind all this, and it's something you brought up, I think on the last Indie Force or Extra. I have a suspicion, and it's probably true, that Tully Blanchard wants to recreate the Four Horsemen.
Why wouldn't you? Why not do it with, if you can get him to do it, why not grab MJF and turn him into the Ric Flair of the group? And turn Shawn Spears into Arn Anderson.
That could work. Yeah, I would definitely see that. But then again, you would get Hangman Adam Page into it. So who would he be?
I wouldn't actually put Adam Page into the Four Horsemen, because you already have the entirety of the Four Horsemen. Think about it. You have FTR.
True.
You have FTR. All you need is, because Shawn Spears is already with Tully Blanchard, and then you would just need to grab MJF, and then you're done. It would make the most sense personally because of the fact of how fucking good of a heel he is, and the fact that he's the type of heel that goes, you're a big shitter, you know it.
Yeah. Though it would be kind of challenging to bring MJF into the fold because he's already working really well being like
That's
running
why
for a campaign on the new AEW championship, which is actually really good.
That's why you have to take your time. Give him a reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a fucking offer that he can't refuse of going for the World Heavyweight title.
Oh, true, obviously. The second and last match we got on the card is the Mimosa Mayhem match between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. This is going to be a best of 3 between the two, and to call it down the line, I'm going to say Jericho is going to take this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the same thing as well. I mean, I understand where they're going with it for very obvious reasons, but it's one of those, it makes more sense to not try to fan the flames and just do what you're doing.
Obviously. And the fact that this was Jericho's idea and having him lose on an idea he made to make the other guy look good, I feel like that's kind of giving it too much. So by having Jericho win, he can finally just end the feud with him and that he's capable of fighting anyone. And he's someone to be taken seriously this time around. But yeah, in this match, we don't know a whole lot of it. So again, Jericho is the type of person that will use the tactic of heel bullshit. So it is a 100% possibility that he'll be fucking up somehow that will earn him the win. And
Agreed.
I think the perfect way to end that match is just not by pinfall, not submission, but simply just throwing him into the mimosa. Just once. So we can actually see what's it about.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of creating a mimosa match if you're not going to use it, you know? That'd be a waste. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think, honestly, I have to somewhat agree with you on this point, just because of some obvious reasons.
Sure.
And it's primarily, it's like, if Jericho fucking invented the match, having him lose the match that he invented kind of makes it go, then what was the fucking point of, why not just make it a normal ass match if he loses?
Yeah, that would.
I mean, that's the Undertaker making the fucking casket match and then having him lose the first one ever.
Yeah, that would be pretty poor. But, you know, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully one day that gimmick will be brought again in the near future. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be a different type of stipulation, but I don't know. We're excited for it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
After you, good sir. We have one last one, and it's the big one, which is Jon Moxley finally going up against MJF.
I think it's a 60-minute time limit, correct? Or is it until...
It's a 60-minute time limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put everything on the table that needs to be brought up. I have to say it the way that I have to say it. Fuck. I personally think that, and this is just my perspective on it, that Moxley has to retain the belt. It would be, I wouldn't call it idiotic, but somewhat moronic to have him lose this title to a heel this quickly. He's been champion for how long now?
He's been champion since, Revolution?
Yeah, he's been champion for at least a couple months.
Yeah.
Having him lose at this pay-per-view instead of like their big event of the year would kind of make it feel unimportant. I wouldn't say unimportant because that feels like a very strong word. It would make it feel not interesting. Like, what was the point of the title run and having Moxley do all the shit that he does? Which, by the way, nobody is shocked that Moxley is the #1 wrestler of the year of 2020.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
He is so much better than what he was in WWE. And I know that there are other WWE fans out there that will go, "What are you talking about? Dean Ambrose? He's like being Dean Ambrose again. He's Dean Ambrose." It's like, okay,
Yeah, but this is Dean Ambrose unhinged,
no,
like without a leash.
No, he's John Moxley.
Yeah.
You need to stop trying to do the comparison because he is not. He is himself. He is no longer just the coin a catchphrase character that we've seen in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that anymore. And it's for the best. I know a lot of people are sitting there going, yeah, but he's like one of the most important members of the Shield. He was a lunatic fringe. He was this, he was that. It's like, stop. Every time that you say shit like this and put this shit up like this online, what do you think that does to somebody like him who's just trying to move past all of that and focus on his future?
Yeah, he just wants to do his own thing. I mean, he doesn't want anyone dragging him down, talking, hey, remember when you were this guy in this show and you did the same thing that you're doing now from back then? Wow, why are you changing things? Like, enough. Let the guy do his own thing.
It's not like
he's actually better than what he was when he was.
Yes, because he's a threat now. He wasn't just, oh, he does goofy things. He does wacky, quirky things. Look at how wacky and goofy he is. I have no problem putting you head first into this glass fucking table because you're pissing me off.
Indeed.
And that's what I think is important.
True.
Honestly, that's the big. I know that we're not really talking about MJF because what the fuck else can we add to MJF's character? It's the best heel run I've seen in the past 10 years.
Yeah, I was actually going to offer some input for MJF. Like, he's the guy that thinks that he wants everything on a silver platter. He's the guy with the muscle, the guy who looks like he has the money, the power. He's the power-hungry young kid who, of course, will probably use heel bullshit for heel bullshit reasons, and he's got Wardlow to fuck everything up and the ring. But honestly, he's like a mini Ric Flair.
I wouldn't even call him Ric Flair because Flair had his limits of what he was willing to do in the character.
Yeah.
And you and I could both agree to that. Flair had limits. MJF, so far from what I've seen, throws the fucking limits right out the window. He's taking Flair's moniker of being the cocky, egotistical heel and mixing it in with another heel persona that works incredibly well with him.
Absolutely.
He has become, at least when it comes to how he acts as a character, when the 24-hour heel moniker. And the only people that get to see the real him are his family. And obviously some of the people that he works with, because you can't be a dickhead constantly to your coworkers, or they're just going to be like, I don't want to fucking deal with him tonight. I get what he's going for, but I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, true. Like, if you want, only do it, like, on camera, just so you can get that point across where, yeah, you're the heel, but off camera, just, remember, be true to yourself.
To, like, the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
The original lunatic himself, the psychopath, high-flying Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
Nikos, if you ever want one of the greatest debuts ever, Brian Pillman, ECW. The guy never wrestled there.
I'll definitely check him out.
Just to give the example.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to say Moxley for my pick.
I also have to agree with you. I feel like Moxley...
I think that
he needs to keep that undefeated streak going until someone who really deserves it.
It's not about Moxley's title. It's about taking it and showing it off in front of Cody.
Uh-huh.
Well, then.
Now...
Nikos, you still there? I can't really hear you, brother.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was actually going to ask, how would you make Jon Moxley lose? Like, who do you think would be a perfect contender for him to lose? Like, if there's anyone from the 21 Battle Royale to win, that's fine, but, we'll see when that time comes. But in your own fantasy idea, who do you think is the prime candidate to beat Moxley for the championship? It could be anyone.
Somebody who can match his brutality. Somebody who can keep going with him. and somebody who can keep on his ass as much as he stays on other people. And they obviously don't have to be in AEW, correct?
Not in AEW. It could be anyone.
Okay.
Could be a free agent for all we know.
Let's see. Somebody who can match his craziness, his attitude. Somebody that can go around with him and not have a problem. Fuck, that's a hard choice, honestly. There's a lot of, like, very decent contenders to go after him.
I got one.
Shoot.
But
Sure, who cares?
might be debatable, but I feel like it's a good idea to bring him back just one last time. Punk.
I wouldn't disagree, except for one thing. The guy hasn't wrestled in about 5 years.
Oh, true. But of course, I can imagine he's been practicing little by little, something we don't really know.
True. Moxley. Who the fuck could fight John Moxley and give him a run for his money? Honestly, it's kind of a dream match of mine because of how it works. I really want to see him go toe-to-toe with Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer.
I know it's not somebody taking the title off of him, but if I had to pick my dream match, it's him versus Tommy Dreamer. The ultimate babyface. Let's put that in perspective. The ultimate babyface in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Dreamer, the guy who has dealt with the Dudleys, has dealt with Raven, has fucking been through hell and back in ECW. And I feel like that passing of the torch moment, specifically for me, is him fighting Dreamer and going one-on-one.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's one of those. They already have Dreamer ready to go if they ever need him. He absolutely would work with John to give a match from hell if needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I want them at their physical best.
True.
I want Dreamer to be at his best, and I want Moxley at his best.
Oh, true. And I know the same thing for Punk if he ever one day comes to AEW.
As I said, that was my one thing with Punk, is that the fact that he has not been in the ring in about 5 years. He has not been in the ring in a long fucking time.
But I feel like it would be a good idea for him to redeem himself after that whole debacle he had with MMA and his debut loss. I feel like that's something he has to earn back.
I wouldn't say earn it, but dude, saying that he owes anybody anything is just stupid. That's like being the WWE. That's like being the WWE casual fan and saying Punk owes me a match. No, he doesn't. He doesn't owe you shit at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was saying that maybe he owes something for himself and not to anyone else.
That could be true. But I feel like if you're going to have Moxley go up against anybody, it's either Tommy Dreamer or a young upstart who has a lot to prove. Somebody who can match him fucking move for move and keep going. Even to the worst of it. I wouldn't have him lose to somebody like Brian Cage. I feel like that's too easy. Having him get beat up by the big muscular dude is just kind of goofy.
Yep.
And I'm only saying this from the perspective of working on you know what and going, how the fuck do we end this properly? And it's not about muscle, it's about lasting. A championship title match is not about how strong the opponent is, what crazy bullshit they can pull out. It's about lasting.
Yeah.
As I will tell you, and as I told James, one of the greatest matches as a kid I've ever seen, a little bit different now because I'm a little bit older, was Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart for the World Heavyweight title.
Oh yeah, true.
Do you know how long? Do you know how long they went for?
I think it was almost an hour, right? Or was it half an hour?
They went past an hour. It's a slow match, but it shows that if you're going to be World Heavyweight Champion, you need to be able to last an hour against your opponent at all times.
True.
So, okay, you pick Punk, I pick Dreamer. Or next best thing, a young upstart who has a lot to prove.
I would imagine it'd be someone from MLW.
Maybe it will be somebody that he knows in CZW.
Yeah. Oh god, imagine bring someone from CCW and versus Mox. Oh god, that'd be a bloodbath.
They already did it. It was called Joey Janela.
All right.
Joey's from MLW. Or sorry, CZW.
Yeah, CCW.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people could sit there and say, well, Cody would be a good choice. Or, hell, you can grab anybody. But personally, for me, as a match, not as a victory for fucking the person facing him, just as a dream match for myself, Dreamer versus him is fantastic. If anybody's gonna fucking strip the title off of Moxley, it's gonna be Okada. If they could ever get him to do it.
Oh god, Okada.
Because Okada can go to war.
And possibly win the war too.
Yeah, Okada can fucking go. He has some of the greatest matches of all time, and I will 100% say he's the greatest Japanese wrestler of this current decade, if not the past 2 decades.
Absolutely.
The only person that goes on top of him is fucking Mitsuhara Misawa, and that's because he's fucking Misawa. He was Tiger Mask. The guy could go for hours if need be, and when he was in his least physical shape he's ever been in, he could still go for 35 minutes if need be. He could still go in a match.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, why don't we let the other 2 dipshits figure out what they want to do?
True. There is something I wasn't actually mentioned in the predictions, which would have been an okay match, but it's like one of those matches that could be a little interesting. Maybe a match that would be like a steady beat. I'm surprised no one challenged Brody Lee for the TNT Championship.
I think they're saving that because you don't want to overfill your card. You don't want to pull what we did for Immortal, and overfill your card and run out of time. Even though we didn't have a time limit, we set a time limit for ourselves.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
it'd be good for Brody to get a little break now and then.
True. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here. I don't know if the other 2 have already finished the video or where this is going to be placed. But, hey, since we're doing the parody of it, I'm with the Lionheart himself, Mike Nikos, and I'm the Executioner, Michael X, and we are the Wolfpack coming back for mass destruction because we are the bad boys of wrestling.
We are indeed.
See you, folks.
See ya. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Pieces of light in moments